Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thanks again for joining me here. Hope you're having a fantastic day. We're taking a look here quickly at Solana, just kind of seeing what's going on to wrap up the day here. And it's performing pretty darn close to what we expected. The price pulling back after it swept that liquidity level there at about $62. So we'll take a quick peek at the back end stuff here as well, kind of see what that looks like. But if you are new to the channel, thanks again for watching. Please do me a favor, hit the like button, follow if you could, of course, and just know I love teach people to trade, and I hope you can learn something here today. Got an awesome trading community, academy, and signals group over on our Discord in case you're curious about that. We've got signals, which are pretty awesome here. Recently took a nice long from Bitcoin, and our trading bot is scalping the heck out of Solana, 38% in 2 days. Not too bad for something that's completely hands-off. All right, again, be sure to check that out, of course, really cool. But thanks again for the wonderful feedback I've been receiving from my community regarding those bots. Deeply appreciate the feedback. What we want to look at here, though, is a daily time frame and work our way down. In fact, before we do that, let's get perspective on the liquidation. Okay, so again, if you're kind of new and you don't know, liquidation levels are constantly sought after by the whales. Essentially, they like to sweep the liquidity, so there's no one really left in that direction. They can just move the price where they want. What we can see here, of course, is $60 even, as a previous liquidity sweep that we saw earlier. So when I was talking about the price coming up to 58 and breaking, once it broke 58, it was an ideal, perfect setup to be able to push towards 60, 62. This was a target in place. They swept that level, and then the price is pulling back. It makes perfect sense. It happens all the time. So just know there are new liquidation levels at $63, but for the most part, we have the largest accumulation at about 53. Okay, so 63 to 53 is the rough estimate for that range. And also future reference too, I get the question a lot about the monthly. So just to kind of clarify, there are heavy concentrations at $63 in the larger time frames. And of course, second most is 53. Then of course there is 50 and also 37. I think I read about 37, yeah. So again, just some kind of things to understand on the back end there. Looking at the daily here, it's looking still overall very positive. We're still ascending above the 20-day SMA. That's the key takeaway here. We've got the RSI up over 50, below 70, and money flow index is starting to increase. We can see that on smaller time frames. Here it looks like it's coming down, but technically it is starting to bounce. So again, we got more money coming in. We can see the volume increasing. We're above that resistance level, previous resistance of $58. Now the support based on volume. Look how much volume is right there at 57 to 59. Okay, we're right there at that sweet spot. So it does imply that we should be able to see a leg up after we accumulate some volume here at the $58 range. Okay, so right there at $58, we're starting to see that volume profile. Again, previous high working as a new low. It's a strong probability we're going to see a bounce from here. Okay, so anyone who has basically one of our I think we have a Solana trade open from a few days ago for a swing trade. I think we're still set and good to go. We'll probably hit our targets here. I think we came close. $62 I think was the target, and we hit $61.80. So getting pretty close. We'll get there. Be patient, of course. Patience pays off with some of our swing trades. I mean, you saw Terra Classic 110% and Gala 190% after I think it was roughly about a month or two. But hey, I do not mind waiting that long for that kind of profit. And I don't care who you ask, that's still good money no matter where you're at. Okay, again, it depends on how much you're using. We recommend lower position sizing just to ensure you can survive all the ebbs and flows of the trading market. Because again, we do have a ton of trades consistently moving forward here and there. So when you have a lot of trades, you got to make sure to prioritize how that works. Okay. Either way, conversation for another day. Check our Discord. We have explanations on how the signals are supposed to be structured for both groups. So please watch that or read through that if you haven't already. All right, wrapping things up here in the 4 hour, we can kind of see RSI is tapering off. It's coming back down under 70, perfectly fine. It's exactly where we want it to be. We don't need it to be overextended. We want to be able to continue to rise positively without overextension. Me personally, I prefer to see that. We can see the MACD is starting to diverge a little bit, but that's very standard. We look at TD sequential here, we came up to a 9, big surprise, we're pulling back, okay? Now, it doesn't necessarily imply we're going to have to see another 9 before the price returns back up, though, okay? Keep in mind, 4s, 5s, and 6s happen all the time, okay? So in a perfect world, another, 12 hours from now, the price will be balanced out here at about 58, and the price goes up from there. In perfect world, the price goes straight up and we miss our opportunity. All right, so again, FOMO happens, trust me, it's okay. Just try not to let it get the best of you. All right. If you think about it, the whole entire market is full of FOMO. So just missing out on one trade, it's like, oh darn it, I missed my entry. Move on to the next. It's okay. Plenty of opportunities. All right. So that's kind of where we're at in the 4 hour. Still looking great. We're above all moving averages too. I really see nothing that's disadvantageous. Again, I try to look for reasons not to take a trade, and we haven't really seen or identified much at all. The only thing I'd mention is just that we are kind of early into this downtrend here, and there's a decent chance the price will pull back to that $58 range. there's also equally as much of a possibility where the price action just turns itself around here because it's hitting its most recent high. Again, working as a new low as a support. And what I'm referring to is that $59 mark, almost exactly $59 was the high back in Saturday on the 25th. Okay, let's look at the hourly and call it a day here. TD sequential tells us we are getting overextended, but not crazy. Okay, we came up to a 9, price pulls back to a 7, kind of consolidating. So there's not a lot of overextension, honestly. It's nothing to concern ourselves with. This is something I want to kind of note, is the fact that lagging span is coming close to the price action. So technically, if you have a long position open, you should be considering closing it by now, okay, or soon. Now again, the price could rally back up and it could be null and void. That's a possibility. But generally speaking, conversion line is intersecting with the baseline, getting kind of close to the cloud. There's a handful of reasons to not really consider taking a long position right now, even though everything else looks positive. Okay, so now, do I take a trade based on this one indicator? No. It just kind of gives me the certainty that I'm on the right track. I mean, that's what we did with Bitcoin yesterday, for example. We took a trade at, 37.4, hit our second target at 38.3. Again, mainly because we'd just broken through the cloud, we had a lot of confirming factors. We have most confirming factors here, just not all, okay? So you do with that what you will. I would just recommend being careful and cautious and not getting too crazy, but the truth here is that we are on the right side of tracks. We have a lot of momentum and positivity here. It would just make sense for the price to consolidate a little bit longer between 58 and 61 before it legs up again. But if all goes well, we get the price pull back just a little bit lower, and we can get that little dip there and get on the way, get back on track. So again, that's kind of where we're at. What are your thoughts? What do you think is going to happen next? I'd love to hear it. Try not to be the silent type. Comment below. Let us know what's going on. Love to hear that, as well as getting to know you better too. Jump on over to our Discord. We got a phenomenal group of people here. We got tons and tons of people joining too. Like today, for example, we've got 9 new members. Yesterday we got maybe 10 or 11, roughly 12 the day before. Sunday was a little quiet because I wasn't really doing much at all, and I have to hope that you guys aren't trading every single day of your life. I make sure to not do that and ensure that you take time for yourself. Okay, it's important. I teach that in my trading academy. Also, make sure that you watch my university videos if you are a current community member and you're part of my premium and premium plus group. Some people don't know that. It's on our website. Make sure you check that out. It's full of good little tidbits there that I like to make sure to help brush you up to speed on. It's important to recognize. Foundation is everything, and a good risk tolerance that makes the difference. All right, thanks again so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Really appreciate you. And again, to all my members who have been watching me for, I've got some people that have been watching me for almost 2.5, 3 years now. Thank you so much. You know who you are. You're deeply appreciated. I deeply appreciate anyone who started watching me yesterday or even today. But still, it's just really rewarding to know that I'm making a positive impact in most people's lives, and I deeply appreciate that. Have a good one. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.